Well, a very good afternoon to you. Once again, we've got more fantastic rugby action for you today from well, what is turning into an amazing IDRC championship, isn't it, tournament. Group A, of course, or Pool A was settled yesterday with two fantastic games here in Aldershot. And who's going to forget that Tonga Island game? Remarkable contest between those two teams. And obviously UCAF coming through eventually against Zambia in their match to win the group. Ireland have qualified, of course, as well for the semi-finals next Saturday. Today, though, it's all about Pool B, and, well, who is going to join the team from Fiji then in the semi-finals? Is it going to be Australia or is it going to be France? That's the big question. I'm joined alongside me by John Wilding, who'll be with us very, very shortly to give his thoughts as we approach the start of this game. But let's just remind ourselves, first of all, of what happened in yesterday's encounters.
She's in the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
The group of death continued with the winners from match day one. Ill discipline and great French attacking had the reigning champions in front at half-time, but a Fijian comeback was on the cards. Not even Vivi Sikisawana's red card could stop them from winning, 29-23. Opportunity then for the Aussies. A win against the Vodafone Looseheads was needed and delivered in style. 13 tries in a terrific performance meant an 81-7 win, and as it stands, second place in Pool B.
She's in the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
So excitement all the way then in those matches yesterday, and certainly the match of the tournament so far, arguably between those two teams yesterday, with Ireland just coming through eventually against Tonga.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on
well, John, John Wilding is with me. We're going to have Erica joining us as well very shortly. But John, just as the two teams come out then for this match between Fiji, obviously, and Australia, cracking games yesterday, and really, Paul lived up to so many expectations.
Yeah, what a day for service rugby and rugby in general. I defy anyone to be at Aldershot yesterday for both games and not come away completely entertained. Not only in the style of rugby, but just the ebb and flow of the game, both games. So yeah, really good day.
Well, we hope we can get to something very similar today as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that can, please be upstanding.
We're going to have the national anthems now, though, for Fiji and Australia.
The national anthem of Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem of Australia. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Your match officials today are...
So, there we are then. The pleasantries are complete. We can see that we'll go through the two teams for you right now very quickly, shall we? Starting with the Fijians. And I suppose the important thing for them is that Matam Aki Salai, who's their head coach, has basically left out his captain for the game, John, and that's probably not a surprise, bearing in mind they've already qualified.
Yeah, I've got a feeling she took a little bit of a knock in the last game, and when you've already qualified, it makes no difference, and you're playing on Saturday. Like, don't take the risk. She's an important player for them when it comes to knockout rugby, and you know I'm expected to see her replacement do just as well.
And they've got tries all over the field, of course, of the Fijians, as have Australia too. Just very quickly checking through their team, and Rob Drinkwater basically sticking in many ways with the lineup who took on the French in the first match.
Yeah, they actually played a lot of good rugby. They just didn't put their chances away, and if they play the same, they've got a really good chance today.
We're underway straight off. Kiwi has joined us as well. Great to have you with us today, Erica, as well. Just quickly mention our officials. From Ireland today, it's Paddy Sheehan, who is the man in the middle today, and he's got Rebecca Piddleston and Nikki O'Donnell as his assistant referees today. So there we are. We're underway. 25 seconds into this game, and reminder of the mathematics here, and it is actually reasonably straightforward in a way that Australia know they've got to win this game, and they've also got to score a bonus point. So if they do that, they will finish on 11 points. And what happens when France play the loose heads later on will become immaterial, but far from it at the moment. Obviously, they could actually win the group as well, Australia, if Fiji lose by more than 7 points or more and fail to get a bonus point themselves. So that's the mathematics of it. But this is about a lot more than mathematics today, isn't it, Kiwi? It's about two really big teams, and we could have a classic game here.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a really good showcase of defence women's rugby. Two very physical teams, and it will be a case of where we can where either team can find the spaces and capitalise on their strengths, I guess. But also with Australia, they like to play a little bit physical up front, and I don't imagine you'd want to play that completely to script against Fiji. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams have analysed each other and the kind of games that they bring to today's match. Exciting.
A little bit of early work having to be done on the Australian number 8, Raina Ellis. She's come in, of course, in the number 8 shirt today, replacing someone who we maybe expected might have started, Sarah Riordan, but she's on the bench wearing number 19 today.
Yeah, she came off the bench against France and actually changed the game for Australia.
She did.
And I think there's a bit of a finisher mentality. I'm not sure if she's fully 80-minute fit, but she certainly grabs hold of the game when she comes on. So maybe it's you can very much lose a game in the first half, but usually win it in the second half. So you probably want your best players on in the second half.
Yeah, as the bomb squad, as Rob Drinkwater calls them. Wherever you're watching today, great to have you with us. It's just gone 10 o'clock at night in Sydney, and in Queensland and Australia, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. out west. And in Fiji, it's just gone midnight in Suva as well. That sounds good, doesn't it? Midnight in Suva, yeah. So wherever you are around the world, we're delighted to have you with us watching today on our Forces News YouTube channel, and also, of course, on Facebook as well, which I think is pretty popular out there in Fiji. So great to have you with us. A bit of a break in play still while Raina Ellis receives a bit of attention here. It's taken slightly longer than I'm sure she would have expected. Just to tell you about the weather conditions as well, the sun shining brightly here at the moment in Aldershot, but we had rain earlier on. Quite a lot of rain actually fell on the pitch here. It won't have done very much to turn it into change it from the hard surface that we had yesterday, but it might make the ball a little bit greasy, so that could be quite interesting as we roll into these early moments of the match. And straight away it's Fiji who are coming forward, and on this left-hand side with Irani Salevu. Australia, important for them to defend as well as to attack here. And for Fiji, a victory here today will guarantee them top spot in Pool B, and a match against the Irish Defence Forces. Yeah. So a lot of incentive for both of them to do well. It's a good start to this game for Fiji. Australia, Rob was saying earlier on, have got to impose their game on the Fijians. That's not going to be easy in these conditions, and we can see straight away how fast the Fijians can be as they drive forward again for that line with Letitia Mama. Chance for an early score for them. Their fullback running through, and they are going to get an early score. They have got the foot was in touch, and Rebecca Piddleston has got her flag up. Well, it was so close to an early try there for Irani Salevu, but just in touch, a good tackle to stop them.
The Australian back three have really impressed me in their defence over the last few games. They don't look like they should physically match up, but no one seems to get past them easily. And the amount of times they put the person on the ground is phenomenal for them.
So Australia then get away with it just in these early moments, but under pressure in these early minutes of the game. Just 3 minutes gone. That was a fantastic clearance though for the Australians line out. Yeah.
then that's the key. One of the keys for Australia today is when you kick, you've got to kick well. You can't be kicking free ball to the dangerous Fijian back three. And not only have you got to kick well, but you've got to chase well. But it's important for Australia to play the game in the Fijian half. And as I think that Fijian, more than any other side, are a team of momentum, and momentum of territory builds on them. Dummy throw. Yeah.
Well, I think Australia are renowned for being a clinical team, and we see that in a lot of what they do, both in attack and defence. I think the point of difference today could be the deception that Fiji play with. Every single player, you're never 100% sure what they're going to do, and that's really hard to read and defend when you come up against them, because their skill set is immaculate.
And that, just building on that, their support play is expecting them to do the unexpected, whereas the defending team is not expecting them to do the unexpected, and that's why the offloads always seem to go to hand, because they just expect the unexpected, if that makes sense.
Line out retaken then by Ella Hopper, who's got a massive role to play for Australia today. Just well touched on there by Australia by Denny Ross, and Australia then with a chance to build here. Strong tackling going in immediately, but Australia still have it.
I think that's the play that they need to get, because that's a good break from Australia. That's the sort of stuff they need to play in behind the front target. And the Fijian are a frequent penalty givers, but you still got to play the game. I think with the first two carries were too upright and too easy to target. And if you give the Fijian defence a target, they will hit it, and they'll hit it well. But when you play out the back, that's where the break came.
So referee Sheehan just having a word with a couple of these Fijian players.
Yellow card.
And in fact, there's a yellow already. And it's the discipline side of things, which it didn't cost Fiji in their last game against France in the end, because they won it, but it could have done. It could have really impinged them. So it's 10 minutes in the sin bin then for Fiji's player.
Yeah, I think examples like that with a hair pull, 9 times out of 10 it isn't intentional, but it's cynical nonetheless. So let's see what Australia can do in these 10 minutes with Fiji down to 14.
Yeah, Sariti Rokotao, who has got to serve this penalty.
That's a great carry from Australia.
Australia then getting into the opposition territory really for the first time in the match. Ball going out, looking for their wide players. It's dropped, but a recovery from Australia.
For Fiji.
But Fiji will have the put into the scrum.
And this is the two good carries from Australia from that line out, but they've got to look after the ball. What they did really well was they narrowed up the Fijian defence. So they've done the hard work, but you've just got to look after the ball. You can't afford to cough ball like that. If Fiji take turnover ball, they'll run it to the house.
Just 6 minutes played here in Aldershot in this final day of Pool B matches in the IDRC. What excitement we had yesterday in Pool A with those two games yesterday. This game
That's a great
promises to do well, but Fiji have come out of it well here. Ball going wide. This is lovely play from them, spreading the ball wide onto that far side of the field. It's Saleva who goes to ground. Big drive now from Suru. And again, look at that power and energy that Fiji are bringing to this. Down to 14 players, remember, but it doesn't seem to affect them too much. The handoff goes to the scrum half. Here they go again. Opportunity to break on this near side, but it goes out of play in the end. But danger all over the pitch at the moment for Australia when the Fijians get the ball.
They both seem to have started the game with quite similar game plans, a couple of carries up through the middle and then trying to hit width. So it'll be good matchups across the forwards and the backs today. We've already seen some good defensive shots from both teams, but Ella Hopper there, we've mentioned her name quite a lot in this tournament.
She's a pivotal role for Australia today, which was admitted by the coach earlier on when I was talking to him. She had a terrific game against the French. She was just everywhere. And will be on kicking duties again today for Australia, should they need them. It's a penalty to Australia.
Yeah, you got that first carry looks good on paper, but it slowed down in contact and body was too high. And again, you're just giving Fijians targets to hit, and they're phenomenal in the contact area, and they won't shy away from a big hit. From Australia, I think the front row are working really hard, both in the set piece and around the park. But at the moment, they're probably working harder than Fiji in defence to scramble around to get in front of people than Fijians are working with a person down. So they've got to think of it slightly differently, I think, and play out the back a little bit more. That's a great line. And now play.
So, Australia then. Loose ball though. That's the second time we've seen a loose pass coming from the Australian Defence Forces. Just can't afford that. It's something you keep stressing time and time again, John.
Yeah, you just you're coughing up possession to Fiji without any line speed, which is what they want.
Another chance then on this right-hand side for Fiji. Strong defence though from Australia again, keeping them out. They've stolen it back.
That's great defence from Hopper there. No right to get to that outside break, but she just worked so hard and closed the space down. And again, that space closing down makes all the difference to your defence. So Australia really need to get into Fiji's half here just to feel a bit of release and relax into the game. They've done really well to keep Fiji out, but they're still feeling the pressure of being territorially in their own half, and they're a mistake away from something happening. So, taking advantage of that extra person, they just need to clear their lines here.
Yeah, I think we saw a similar game here in the opening 10 minutes of the France game, probably a little bit longer. It's as though Australia like to absorb a little bit of pressure, and then like they turn the switch and they go, actually no, let's play for territory, let's get into their attacking half of the field.
Nearly 11 minutes played. It's still 0-0 here. But Fiji have had the better of these early exchanges, come close a couple of times to crossing the try line. They're a player down though. They still have their number 8 out of action, but here they go once more. It's a crossover.
Yeah.
And it's Vivi Sisquana who got a red card against the French on Friday, but it was not deemed to be...
It was 2 yellows, wasn't it?
2 yellows, not deemed to be serious enough for her to be missing a match. So she is playing. She scored a try, of course, as well against the French. And she's an important player for them.
So the referee's got to think about another card here, Sue, because that's 4 or 5 penalties in a row on top of the yellow card. So certainly another chat with the captain would be my recommendation here. But credit to Australia, they're keeping them out. And this is what they can't afford to do. That loose kick.
Yeah, I think the whole team there were expecting her to find touch, so only the winger responded, but their edge defence has really impressed me, Australia. So let's see how they can scramble defence and potentially turn this ball over.
Still Fiji though, still pressing. Goes out wide, real chance for the opening score, and it is going to be the opening score for them, is it?
That's a great edge defence.
Brilliant defence once more from Australia to keep Kovalova out, and they've done it.
As I said before, the back three for Australia are phenomenal defenders.
What amazing defence that's been from Australia.
Yeah, and as Kiwi said there, it's just so impressive because they've probably got a physical mismatch, but it just shows it's the size of the fight that matters, and they're just taking pride in keeping their outside edge clear of any Fijians.
I think they knew they were going to face a bombardment in these early moments. It may not be enough, though. They're still holding the line here. Amazing defence.
That's a great tackle.
Another great tackle, but still Susquehanna has it. And, you can see the applause that the Australian players are giving to each other because, wow, what defence. And, of course, this game is all about defence as well as attack, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it is, and you have to say that for 13 and a half minutes, that the Australians have played the whole game in their half, a lot of it in the 22, and they've held out possibly where other teams would have conceded, and you've got to take a lot from that, but you can't. The pressure just builds. You can't keep doing it on your line. You've got to get out. But right now they'll take a lot from this, and they'll just focus on trying to win the ball in the scrum and get upfield.
And relieving the pressure. A few mentions, Sir Mark Hatch, Aussie. The watcher, come on ref, you've got to issue a warning first before you dish out a card. Well, that's interesting. I'm sure that he's done that.
You don't have to.
You don't have to do that. He's done that already anyway. Lynn Burke, Bomb Squad, go Kira Burke, enjoy. And messages coming through from Fiji as well. Lydia watching from Fiji, and also the Neymanas, go Fiji, go Australia. So keep those messages coming in from wherever you are around the world. We'd love to hear from you today on our live stream here on Forces News.
Yeah, just on the referee there, if it's for foul play, it doesn't matter when it is. Foul play was a high tackle hair pull, that's automatic. If it's persistent, infringements, that's different, and you can play that. So, I think the referee was refereed that really well. It's foul play, not acceptable, and set your stall out.
An injury for another Australian player just being treated on the far side at the moment.
Yeah, and look, the Australian coach has got to be pleased with the effort of his team, because that defence is all about heart and pride and work rate, all the stuff that requires no talent, just effort and pride and knowing what you are and who you are and what you're playing for, and their team is showing that now. And they're literally putting their bodies on the line. So credit to them, and a little break wouldn't for the rest of the team. The forwards here before the scrum wouldn't hurt.
Just before the restart, ladies and gentlemen, just be aware there's a car going, its alarm going off at the Garrett's. If you own a black Kia, registration Yankee Kilo 25 Papa Tango Zulu, please can you go and address that issue? Thank you.
So Australia back to their full complement then, which they'll be delighted about. Craig West says, go Daisy Pickering. D-Turks, let's go Fiji. So great support coming in for both teams from wherever you are around the world. A great drive from the Fijians, but Australia have got it clear.
It's a 7-person scrum as well.
Yeah, it was
power.
Great work from their number 23 there from Daisy Pickering, who just mentioned her family watching. That was great work from here. And that Fiji have got it, though.
Yeah,
it's been brought back, and they have got a penalty. So,
and it's really important for the Australians. If you're going to take the ball in, you've got to have a couple of mates with you right next to you to support you and make sure you're over the ball first. You can't be away from your support, because the Fijian tackle is just dominant at the moment.
Not forward. Good. So chance has gone.
Chance has gone. However, on that far side, Australia were numbers down. So if the ball had got there, I think we would have been seeing quite a confident try there.
Yep.
A comfortable try even.
But as it stands, it's a penalty to Australia, and Ella Hopper will be able to clear her lines.
Yeah, and
relieve the pressure a bit.
It's important for the Australian forwards to look up and see the ball in front of them and go forward, because again, the pressure, you can't underestimate the pressure here. It's they've worked hard and successfully defended the line. Now let's get up the pitch. As for Fiji, their line-out defence has improved this tournament.
That's Forsyth there, Yolanda Forsyth, who won the line out. That's a good move just outside the 22 from Samela for Australia.
That's a good kick. It's forced them all to turn. The chase, look, there's 5 Australians there. But the fullback's done well there.
Yeah, they have done well. Recovering once more, Fiji. Across onto the halfway line.
So it's noticeable the Fijians keep coming back towards an attack around the breakdown before they go wide. And some of the Australian defenders who think their job is done have switched off and not come up as fast. So something you probably want to look at going forward. But you know, that one kick has relieved so much pressure. However, sadly, you know, offside and away we go. So that's the yellow card back on, John.
So they're back to their full complement again, Fiji. Their number 8 forward, Satiri Rokoto, has completed her 10 minutes in the bin.
Off this line out, look at the midfield here. The 12 and the number 8 who's just come back on. They're forming a power pod off with the ball off the top. And against France, this made gain line and set up the wide play. Oh.
Yeah, the effectiveness of the Fiji line-out has grown throughout this competition.
Yeah.
I think Australia, both defensively and in attack, it's been quite consistent. But it's good to see like a really solid platform from their forwards there to enable the expansive play and style that they want to play with.
And they are definitely dominating the play so far, Fiji.
Ball's out there. It's a really smart play from the Australian defence.
Rokoto making an impact straight away. Here's Wakalo.
So again, attacking near the breakdown. The first phase is attack near the breakdown and then look to go wider.
Which is surprising in a way because both of these teams have been very effective in their breakdown defence.
Yeah.
And here we go. I know the referee has brought it back. So Australia survive once more. We're almost at the halfway stage in this first half. It's 0-0. It's fascinating stuff, but it is all Fiji at the moment. And great defence from Australia.
Yeah, Fiji probably a little bit disappointed with the amount of possession and certainly territory they've had, and they've not only got any points, but they're certainly making the defence, the Australian defence, work hard. And you know, you've got to credit the Australian defence just holding out and you know, making the tackles and reading the defence. You know, they're playing really well in terms of that. They need to get hold of the ball and hold on to the ball because you can't defend for 80 minutes. You will run out of energy.
Yes, it's the same in any sport, isn't it? It's far harder to play when you haven't got the ball than it is when you have got it. You're working twice as hard almost.
Yeah, looking at the body language of the Australians when Fiji gave away that last penalty, it was, you know, slow it down, take a breath. They have had a couple of really strenuous defensive sets, so it will be good for them now to, especially for the pack who are working monumentally hard around that fringe breakdown defence, for them to just, take a second before they now convert into their attacking options.
Scrumming down then, with the put in from the Australian scrum half, Terry Ellis. Good work from the Australians. Now can they break on this right-hand side? This is a fantastic move forward. And a chance for a try for Australia. And charging through for them is their number 10, Maddie Matthews from Townsville. The fly half And, well, it's transformed it. After all the pressure from the Fijians, it is Australia who've opened the scoring here.
And
Maddie Matthews, that was brilliant.
It was absolutely brilliant, but just right in front of us here, you look at the Australian pack. That all came from a dominant scrum where Fiji put the pressure on. Australia soaked it up and then shoved them back. And from that, the gap opened up. And the way they celebrated up front, rightly so, was, you know, they caused that and the backs put it away. And that's just the way it want to be. And it gives them confidence that what they're doing is working.
Well, they defended so magnificently in the first quarter of this match. And literally, as we break into the second quarter, it is Australia who grabbed the lead, and that means so much to them. A lot of talking going on behind the post then from the Fijians.
Spoken like a true forward there, John.
100%.
I think it's so vital that teams celebrate those little wins, and it is obviously a full squad effort, but I think backs applauding forwards when they set the platform and vice versa when backs do their main job is really important for team morale and for confidence.
100%, but you know, anyone who's been in the front five of a scrum where you've had a bit of pressure and you turn them over knows that that's a game within a game. And when you've been defending and every single one of them Aussie front five have been tackling, you know, which is energy draining, to have the ability and the skill to do that, and then watch your backs create something like that length of the pitch is just phenomenal.
It was a magnificent break from Daisy Pickering to create that opportunity. Well, I'm sure that Ella Hopper will be disappointed as well that she didn't put over the conversion, because the goals could be just as important in the final analysis on this game as the tries. But Australia have the lead. They lead by 5 points to 0. They have to win this game, of course, to qualify for the quarter-final. They've got to beat Fiji, and they need the bonus point too. But this is, again, great work from the Aussies too. Fiji then forced onto the back foot for the first time in this game.
So you see what the Australians are doing differently now. The way they were doing the first bit of the first half was they're running and using footwork before they're hitting the defender, whereas before they were just running straight and the Fijians were able to target them and put them on. Now they're winning the collisions, and you know that's massively important. So sadly, I think someone's down here.
They have a player down, yeah.
And that makes all the difference, because from there you just get go forward and the Fijians are on the back foot.
It's Linda Emilio who is down on the front row. She's taken a knock there.
Yeah, and one of the reasons this is you can't afford, if you're taking the ball to the line and you're putting some footwork in, you've got to drop your shoulder and protect yourself, because the hit that's coming is now hitting you from the side. And I think she was a little bit upright putting the pass away, and I think she either got winded or she's injured around her rib cage there. But that's the pattern for Australia. That's exactly what they need to do. Two good carries, go forward. Ask the Fijian defence a different question and see if they can come up with the answer.
Well, Linda Emilio, her favourite phrase in the Australian text is "she'll be right there."
Was she from Birmingham?
Yeah, my Queensland accent let me down there, but she'll be right there. That is her favourite phrase. So I'm sure that everyone hopes from Australia's point of view that she'll be right there and that she can get herself up again. Takes a lot to knock these girls down.
Well, I've never known a soft Australian, so you know they are tough people, and you know, look, let's not underestimate. They know they're in their second knockout game. And they want to right their perceived injustice from the last tournament where they didn't perform as well as they could, and you know they've got a really talented squad, a really good heritage, and as Kiwi said, we've all played against them before, and you know we remember how well they played. They just need to show it in this tournament. And
isn't that good refereeing as well from Paddy Sheehan, who is just having a word with the Fijian front row and just saying to them, look, you know, the reason why I'm penalising you is because of this.
Yeah, don't underestimate the input from the two really experienced ARs in Becky Piddleston and Nikki. Very experienced referees in their own right. So he's getting, I'm sure, a lot of quality information and observations from them fed into him to add to his picture. So yeah, a very impressive refereeing unit at the moment.
Let's give you a few more messages that are coming through. Loads from Fiji this morning. Obviously in the small hours now. Romeo Sydney, go Fiji, go, says Oris. Esteri Relmu says go Fiji. A few more as well. One from Sean with a picture of a kangaroo, so I assume that he's cheering for Australia. And Lennon says also from Perth as well. And we've got a few more coming in as well. So we'll keep those messages coming in from wherever you are. You can see this try once again that the Australians have scored. And it was a great effort from Madeline Matthews, but really created by Daisy Pickering's amazing work. Scrum down then, not far from our position here, right in front of us in the stand.
Great scrum.
It's a great scrum again for Fiji. They bring it clear. And they try to move the ball wide onto that left-hand side, but again, great defence from Australia, and they have won. They've won the scrum. It went forward.
The scrums are really interesting at the moment because you've got the power of the Fijians, and don't underestimate how powerful they are player for player up front. But you've got the technical ability of the Australian front five. We noticed that against the Looseheads in their last game. Their scrum just got stronger and stronger, and that wasn't because they were anything to do with fitness. It's just their technique, sees them through the game. And really impressive with the loose head at the moment for Australia, who's really working the opposite tight head hard. And Fiji are matching them purely on power at the moment. And you see when again it's purely on power.
Brought forward by the number 8 by Raina Ellis.
Good defence.
Yeah, Australia in the ascendancy at the moment. Here's Ellis once more. Feeds it wide. Great use of the ball from the Australians. And here is their flying winger. 4 tries already for Manifi Siki. She'll collect it again. Goes wide, or goes infield now. Here's Hopper. And she loses it, but she has won a penalty for Australia. Now, what will they do here? Will they go for the points? Or will they go for the corner and try maybe for the drive? There's an injury to the Fiji forward.
It's an interesting decision because they've got no future in the tournament if they don't win the game. So that to win the game, it's kick the points, but they also need to score the tries. So for me, I think you would kick the points here and win the game. And then as the game's going on and the scoreboard pressure mounts in Fiji, you hopefully can squeeze some tries out from here. But it really depends on how confident their line out is and what they can do from if they think they've got a strike move that can go in from here, then take it, because again a try from here really puts the pressure on Fiji.
Also Loti Kalbu, with the skull cap. So is okay.
Yeah,
looks like they're going for the corner.
Yeah, I was going to say they've exuded confidence in their set piece throughout this competition, and rightly so. I think they think that their strike moves on exactly as you say, John.
Yeah.
Come the end, given the final score, would they have wished they'd gone for points? Will be interesting to see and reflect on.
Well, you're going for a drive here because the 9's out the line. So this is going to take on. That's a great line-out drive.
No, it wasn't, because it was just a little bit too far over.
And you have to credit Fiji there, because it's a big call to launch anyone on the line, but it means that then the hooker has to be absolutely straight. But if that ball had gone straight to the middle of because they'd launched, they were short on the maul defence. So you have to credit Fiji there. Yeah,
I don't think we've seen them really consistently compete in the defensive space in the line out. I think they'd rather be on feet, which can pay dividends sometimes, but yeah, great to see them force that error there. Yeah,
it's pressurised the hooker.
Clearing her lines then is the fullback, but it hasn't gone very far, and that's a knock forward. Oh, and another penalty to Australia.
Offside, yeah, so in front of the kicker. They're in front of the kicker competing for the ball.
My word.
So now
Fiji are feeling the pressure, aren't they?
Yeah, yes, yeah. They're a proud side, and they don't want to lose. They're a good side, but the thing with Fiji is that they actually can soak up so much pressure, and even scoreboard pressure, and still come back. They back themselves more, and there's no other side in the tournament who thrives on momentum more than they do. This is exactly what Australia needs to do.
So here we have the drive then for Australia. Pushing nearer and nearer to the line. And are they over?
It should be a penalty try.
It is a penalty try to Australia.
It should be also a card as well.
The referees awarded a penalty try, which is an automatic conversion, 7 points. Australia combined severe pressure there.
You're in the wrong job here, John. Should be donning that pink shirt.
I look good in pink. But there's. You could just see that they launched the front people, as I said before in the last line out. That leaves about 3 or 4 people marking a hold defence initially. And if you don't sack it and they get the build like Australia did there really well, then it's virtually impossible to stop legally. So when you come in from the side like that, you're giving the referee no option, because that definitely was going to be a score.
So it's the Fijians, Susanna Relmu, who has received the yellow.
And that's a really important player for them, because she's playing really well as a link player, both in attack and defence. She's just doing all the unseen stuff, clearing, support player, jackling. She's a big player for Fiji.
Well, at the moment, Australia are on course for the victory here. They're 12 points still in front. Remember, they need 4 tries. They've got 2. They need 4 tries.
But it's really important here they don't relax. It's really important they keep their concentration on get the ball and go back again. If they relax, you know what's coming from Fiji. They're going to attack this ball hard and attack the catcher hard. You have to really focus in now and get into their half again.
The Fijians are used to this. They're used to fighting adversity, of course, and the ball dropped by Ellis there.
Still live. Okay.
Still going, out of play, but Fiji will get the put into the scrum.
And that's the exact kind of pressure that you want to see from Fiji. It'll be the little moments like that that lift them and get them back in the game. And the second they've got the taste of an attacking option, getting into the Australian half again, we'll see points. And I think
100%.
we just need a little bit of momentum from then, and it will swing back in their favour.
It's interesting, Fiji are packing down on their ball without a number 8, which is you wouldn't normally see.
Well, I hope you can feel this atmosphere here in the military stadium. Once again, it's building here. Fijian and Australian supporters making themselves heard.
So whenever Fiji need go forward, it goes to number 12. And she sucks in the whole defence.
Again. But look at the Australian defence as well.
Don't panic.
I think Fiji are very good at staying composed, or at least coming across like that they are composed. They don't ever look clusters on the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's one of their major skills, is that if they take on a defender one-on-one, they know they're going to win the collision, not 9 times out of 10. But they just don't worry about what's happened before. They live really in the moment of whatever they pick, wherever the ball is now. Don't worry how it's got there. What are we going to do with it? And they're probably the best team in the tournament at that. And again, probably genuinely don't feel scoreboard pressure until it's quite high. So you have to keep. They never die, and you've got to. If you feel you've got them on the back foot, you've got to keep them there. You can't relax.
Anna Maria Rockhier, the scrum half, they're just questioning the referee's decision, making it very clear that that's what it was given for. Australia then have the line out. Well won again by Denny Ross. And they build once more to the Australians. Great work from Forsyth, the captain there, wearing the skull cap. And here come Australia, looking for a third try before half-time, crossing the halfway line. This is great work from Australia again.
But they just got to look after the ball.
And they haven't done.
Yeah.
Fiji have it back. Oh, what a push-off that was.
She just keeps go forward. And the Aussies are really narrow here.
They are, but right now that attacking picture from Fiji, they're fairly flat, but I'm not doubting that the ground is going to be made, but I think you can afford to be a bit more narrow when the attacker presenting that picture.
Well, here comes a chance. Oh, and it's knocked forward.
And rightly, the Aussies are celebrating this, but I think if you look back at their last attack before they coughed the ball up, they did really well to come to this touchline, the near touchline. But they kind of ran out of ideas or purpose when they were coming back, and it was almost like a reluctant carry into the line rather than a definitive like it was on the way back here. Sometimes you may not be in the right structure for your attack, but you've just got to commit to the line, and more importantly, support's got to commit to being there.
Raina Ellis now receiving some attention. She just went down on her haunches there. It looks like her right leg is just being treated. It's taking its toll, this competition, on the players, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. And the hard ground is not helping, of course.
No, it is fatiguing, and that's 3 key players now, the 2, the 3 and the 8 for Australia, that are taking little knocks. And I was going to mention this earlier, John, from a coaching perspective, as well as Australia are carrying in that one-up collision, and they have confidence in their physicality, I'd be looking now from a coaching perspective of, we're picking up a few niggles from our key people in the pack. Do we not want to move that ball one out, tips on, and just kind of change that picture? Because as confident as they are, and they are making ground in those carries, we're also seeing the knock-on effect of that.
100%. I think the range of the pass to the scrum half's one issue, but play off 10 rather than off 9 to play slightly wider from the Fijian pack. And also, you've actually got you've got lots of space to kick into and turn the Fijians around, but kick well. That's an option. But I would say play off 10 initially, but they're getting a lot of their first pattern attack is working really well. Their second carry's working well. It's what happens after that when the forwards haven't recycled themselves well. What happens after that is their issue at the moment, because they're looking then to go probably too wide too quickly rather than just stay patient. And again, if you go into a collision with 2 supporting players, that's a good option because the ball's alive and you're under control. When you try to go out wide and you're one-on-one and the Fijians get a good hit on you, it's hard to control the ball.
Interesting comment Brian Tompkinson's made. He says, I'm just watching and wondering, when was the last time the pitch had a drop of water? Well, actually, Brian, it did rain this morning quite heavily here. We had a shower, but rain not a lot to make it the hard concrete type surface that the players are having to play on at the moment. I mean, he makes the point that rugby is predominantly an autumn and winter game, and it must be like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
Believe me, it really is.
Absolutely.
Here come Australia again.
Seven's playing this weather.
And here is their flying winger, Siki.
That's high.
Well tackled. Australia still have it. And they've got the penalty.
I think that's the fly half down in midfield, but this is a high tackle.
And the referee and touch judge are just consulting each other at the moment.
It's borderline. It is borderline for the Fijians, but it is high.
Words.
And it's worth saying that in their tournament that people like the French tournament, the tackle height law is not the same. So people have got to adjust to the tournament referees and their interpretation of where it is. It's really important again the Fijians just learn from that and try and keep that tackle height.
So yeah, it's a yellow card, another yellow card. So they are currently down to 13 players.
But again, that's desperation tackling because the Australians have worked to space out wide. and their back three are looking really sharp. That's brave from the Australian 10, because she drew the whole defence on and put them away in space and took a hit for it.
It's Ivamir Rokawati, who has gone off now. And the penalty, and another potential drive here for the Australians.
Yeah, set up for a drive there, but also for Fiji playing with 13 players isn't unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, they won the last game with that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, coaches generally tend to play for circumstances where they're down to 14, and what that looks like depending on who it is in, you know, from the starting 15 who they're down. We also saw it at the weekend in the Rugby World Cup with New Zealand choosing to play with 13 to see out their game. So yeah. It's definitely things that I think comes from the training park into the reality of the game.
We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half here in Aldershot, with Australia leading the Fijians by 12 points to 0.
A player who is having a sneaky good impression on this game is the number 1 for Australia, Jordan Neal. She grew into the last game she played, and her and Ella Hopper are forming a massively inspirational pairing to these Australian forwards. Every breakdown, it's the pair of them are doing something, and you know, it's her work rate as a loose head prop is phenomenal.
And here comes their fullback then. This is Caitlin Costello. Out wide then to Tala Whitmore. What a tackle. What a tackle. Fiji bring it clear. You can hardly hear ourselves.
Definitely feeling the support of Fijiana here. There is a big Fijian contingent here in Aldershot, but also some of the other nations here to support, which is amazing to see.
And in any team, when one of your teammates puts in a massive hit, it lifts everyone. It gives you a focus and energy for the next 20 seconds or so.
Here's Siki. Great run from the fullback, great run from Costello.
There we saw a nice little defensive hunt there.
And they get the penalty, which Fiji take very quickly. Their fullback takes it.
Oh, 10 metres, that's fine.
Rokawati.
So the Australians have got to bring some line speed here. They can't just stand there and wait for the Fijians to come.
Crucial moments then at the end of this first half here. What can Fiji do? If they can get back into the game before the players head to the sheds, that will give them a real boost, particularly as they're down to 13 players, with their number 7, Relimu, just about to come back on the field again. What strength and power from the number 8 there, from Satiti Rokatau.
That's
trying to spread it wide onto the right, but
skill.
Desperate defence from Australia. Great drive from Siskwana.
Absolute skill, and you know, when you're down to 13, you almost want to see a bit more of a slower strength and power game.
But not
Fiji.
They're effectively down to 12 here, Kiwi. There's one player down.
Yeah.
It's almost like a game of sevens for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, when they need go forward, I've said it before, they go to number 12, and she just gives go forward, but she's so tall and powerful that she can get that arm free and put an offload away.
Was that a deliberate knock on there by the Australia's number 13, Tala Whitmore?
I think they were already playing advantage.
She certainly knocked it on.
So it's half time, is it?
We've still got a few minutes to go here, I think.
No, I think
is the referee blown?
I think it's half time.
It is half time, okay. Well, extraordinary first half of rugby action here.
12 minutes half time break.
The players then leaving the field, the Australian players leaving the field. 12 points to the good here, despite great periods of pressure from the Fijians. They have prevailed so far. They lead by 12 points to 0. Your thoughts, John?
Well, you have to credit the Australians, don't you? You have to credit they soaked up so much pressure, and then, you know, twice into the 22 for the Fijians and scored two tries. You know, the work rate they've had in defence, which is all heart, attitude, belief, and stuff around teamwork. That's what's winning in the game. Fiji, though, they've shown the threats, but they just got to curb their discipline and keep 15 players on the pitch.
It's going to be a fascinating second half, Kiwi, isn't it?
Yeah, really exciting rugby. We anticipated a close match, and we're seeing that already. For me, in the second half, if you're Australia, I'd want to change the point of attack, either to the tip or off of 10, as John mentioned. And defensively, nothing changes for Australia. If you're Fiji, I think just in attack, just getting a bit more depth and giving Australia something different to look at. When they are on the counter-attack, we've seen them create something from nothing. But when their attack's a little bit more deliberate, we're seeing not as much depth. And I think that depth will bring the Australian defence on and open up the gaps for them. Defensively, again, I know that there's 12 points been scored against them, but their defensive shape actually slightly narrow at times, but on the whole, no change.
Okay, so half-time here in Aldershot. It's 12 points to 0 in favour of Australia against Fiji. Great excitement to come in the second half. Do join us for that. Let's bring you up to date, though, if you missed it, on all the action now from Pool A. And we'll bring you action from a terrific game yesterday played between Tonga and the Irish Defence Force.
She's lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
It's an interesting setup the Irish backline have got here if they get the ball.
They're going to go on the blind side. They haven't got on the blind side. It's the drive forward from Lee. Being brought to ground. Good defence from Tonga. Can they hold it? Ball goes wide onto the right-hand side, and they've got the overlap here, and we're going to have the first try for the Irish Defence Forces. It's Chloe Farrell who's gone over, and that's huge cheers for the Irish. It is their first points in this competition, and they lead by 5 points to 0. Chloe Farrell going over for the try. Well, a chance for the extras then for the Irish Defence Forces. It's a confident-looking kick, and it is good.
Yeah, it's a punch kick, isn't it?
It was a punch kick, yeah. And
you see there's no one home again.
It's a kick forward by Coots. Oh, and it's someone on the end of it. It's an Irish person on the end of it. Oh, my goodness me. And it's the fullback who's gone over for the second try. Anna O'Donovan.
100%. Again, you just can't afford to leave the backfield empty. You've got to have someone back there, because if that space is seen, it's an interesting style of kick from the 10, because it was a spiral punt to the post. But like that's just really a simple attack, but done well.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're now into the 22. This is great play for them. Can they get their first try? They can. And Tonga are going to go over and they're going to score a try. And that is fantastic. Helena Tal has got the try for Tonga. And what a bonus that's going to be for them. And you can see the reaction. You can hear the reaction. That will give them loads of confidence. And they have done. It's 7 points to 14. And Tonga right back in this game.
It's like they've won the World Cup.
I also think we'll see Ireland come into their own. I think, like you say, we're just out of that, just over the first half of the first half, and they're figuring each other out. And maybe Ireland haven't expected to see the improvements in Tonga that we've seen, but they'll definitely come into their own if they can just make those few little connections come off.
So much more possession for Tonga in this game, and it's really encouraging them. But that's stolen, and it's an opportunity for Ireland to go in and score their third try, and it is a hat-trick for Chloe Farrell, her third try. The Irish Defence Forces have taken this game and now go on to lead 19 points to 7. Much improved performance from them. Great drive again. What a drive, and what a try! That is another extraordinary cry from Lasila. Has gone over for a second try for Tonga. And the crowd here, the Tongan supporters, have gone absolutely mad.
They went one out rugby, and it's what's working for them. And
over goes the conversion.
It's a great try, but Ireland have got to actually start putting some shoulders into tackles. And fundamentally, their defensive lineup is okay, but it's all arms tackles.
Again, they're driving, and they're over. Another try for Tonga, and that's levelled it at 19 all. These are crucial moments in this game.
Yeah, good to see the little lift there from the number 8 to change the point of attack, so that it's not just route 1, and it gives Ireland something else to think about.
Fierce defence on the Irish, but they're over. Tonga are over, and it's Lasila Fakahokatoa who's gone over again for a 3rd try for Tonga. And it's the captain with the kick, and it's good. 26 points to 19. Trailing here by 7 points, but the number 3 is going through, brought to ground, desperately close to the line.
It's a great decision from Ireland in the line-out to opt for their what we
And
would...
are they going for the try? They are. They've made the try. And it is, who guess? Queen of Malloy has got the try for the Irish.
As I say, Tonga have just got to do what they did before.
And Patricia Coote adds the extras, brings us level again, 26-26. Tonga. Ruth Johnson, the hooker.
They just now need to straighten up here, be a bit direct. And you see they get their penalty. The minute they get more direct, they're in danger there of going side to side, trying to go round the Tongan team, and they haven't done it all game. The set piece here and in defence, but still has the energy to run like that.
And it goes over.
Penalty there for the Irish defence force. Says just nudges them into the lead.
Irish, though, have got it clear. Intelligent play from them. That's a fantastic run. Brilliant run from Chloe Farrell, who's already got a hat-trick of tries. Can she go all the way? She certainly can. She's beaten off a couple of challenges, and this is a brilliant, brilliant individual try from Chloe Farrell. It is her 4th try of the game, and that is pure class.
Absolutely. I go back to the Irish forwards who are under the pump there. They won the ball without giving a penalty away. Bear in mind what the last penalty was, and they found the space. That's where Tonga were just starting to feel the heat in terms of energy.
And you just wonder whether maybe Tonga have run out of energy. Irish have another penalty here.
Yeah,
I'd imagine they'll go for it, go for the 3 points.
Yeah, it's knockout rugby. Not for me. I think she's done everything. And by nominating yourself as the playmaker, you're also drawing out the bigger hits from all the people.
And it goes over.
And you just look at the smile on her face now.
The drive is on, and it's ducted down by the number 17. It was Lesotho Leota who got the try. And their captain has the responsibility of trying to put this conversion over, and it's just gone wide, and probably with it the opportunity. And in fact, that is the final action of this game. But what a magnificent game of rugby we have seen here today between the Tongans and the Irish Defence Forces. They are absolutely cock-a-hoop that they've won this. And I'd imagine a fair bit relieved as well.
She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Well, John, just sort of looking back at those highlights of that terrific game yesterday between the Irish and the Tongans. Chloe Farrell's try, it's one of the outstanding moments of this tournament so far, isn't it?
Absolutely. Certainly the individual try of the tournament, length of the pitch. And it came against a run of play, really, because Tonga are on the dominant side of the scoreline, but also the possession. But you have to credit the ability of the Irish to withstand all that Tongan pressure and then come back and take the game with not only that try, but a couple of other really well taken tries.
And it means, of course, they finished second in the group, and UCAF winning Pool A. So at the moment, the way it's standing is that Tonga obviously go into the plate competition, and with the players now out on the pitch for the second half here of this match, and Fiji getting us underway very early on, kicking us off, trailing by 12 points to nil. As it stands, Fiji would still qualify and win the group here, and the French would also get that second spot at the moment. But
if they win.
If they win.
Yeah.
If they win, if they beat the Looseheads. And we're not quite sure what sort of Looseheads team we're going to see later on, John.
No.
That's exciting, isn't it, as
Yeah,
well?
it is. And they you know, I think the Looseheads finished the game against the Australians really well. So you don't know. It just goes to show, yesterday and today, just goes to show in tournaments like this, you can't judge what's going to happen by the first couple of rounds, because no one saw Tonga playing like that yesterday. But teams will grow, just as teams will fade away. And you know, you can see that here from the Australians. Again, you know, if you'd have said to a lot of people the Australians wouldn't be in the lead at half time and kept the Fijians out, so you know, the teams find a way to develop and find a way to play and grow in the tournament, and then strange things can happen.
Just to remind you what needs to happen here for Australia to qualify for the semi-finals. They need to beat Fiji, which of course they did at the moment by 12 points to 0, but they also need to get a bonus point. So if they were to get a bonus point by scoring the four tries, then that would be enough. And if they prevented Fiji from actually winning any points at all, including maybe for scoring tries themselves, and also for winning, but also there's that other point, if Fiji were to lose by 7 or less, then that would stop Australia from winning the group. Australia could still win the pool here if they prevent Fiji getting any sort of points at all. It's a bit complicated, sounds it. It isn't really. The Australians know what they have to do. Fiji know what they have to do. They have to well, if it carried on like this, then Fiji would actually win the group, obviously, if the French were to lose to the Looseheads. But this is all to be worked out by people who are more competent than I with the abacus and the the pocket calculator.
Yeah, it really is simple for all the teams. Go and win your game, and then let the maths do the maths. Go and win your game. Do what you need to do. Own your own performance and own, you know, take care of your own result. The worst place to be is waiting on other people to do stuff for you. And all three teams have it in their own hands at this precise moment.
They do. Fiji have the ball and are moving towards the halfway line. This open play they love so much, but it's just not working for them at the moment, is it?
Yeah, and again, they're feeling the pressure, although it's just been reverted back to 15 now. They're feeling the pressure of that extra person not being there. But, you know, they're probably trying to whip too much rather than backing up direct carry after direct carry and denting in the defence. But you have to say it's because they're getting not the success they wanted against this Australian defence. I think Fiji still, if they took a tighter game and a more aggressive carry option next to the breakdown, they'll get some success. However, Australia have got the ball here and can go into this Fijian half.
Nicely done line out. Once again, that drive forward for Australia by Tanya Papa, who's come on for them. She's off the bench.
Well, she played really well against the Looseheads.
And an interception. Great interception for Fiji. And then number 17 from Elimini Duane. And they drive forward. We're in for a rip-roaring second half here, John. Not quite sure they'll be able to keep up with it, but we'll do our best.
And this is what they need to look at if you're Fiji.
Siata.
They've got the overlap here.
Cable.
So again, Fiji are being more direct here, and it's working really well for them.
And there's another interception, but the referee has brought it back.
Yeah, there's a penalty here for the breakdown. But Australia are finding it really difficult to stop the directness of the Fijians here at the moment.
Will this just be a tap and go for the Fijians here, the way they like to play it, or are they going to go for the corner? It looks.
I think they're going to tap and go.
Yeah.
bet a lot. I bet your pension on this, John. It's going to number 12. No, it's going to 18.
No, actually, I wish I'd taken the bet up with you.
And again, sucked in a lot of defenders there, and the next pod is ready to go.
Fiji looking for their opening score of the game, and they're driving, getting closer and closer to the line. Can Australia hold them legally? It's a pile of bodies there. Not quite sure who's under it.
I think he's got I think there could be a card here. No.
Being brought back. It's another Fijian penalty. They'll take it quickly. They can sense the chance here. Oh, and you really felt that one. And that was the captain there under Yolanda Forsyth. And Fiji have the try. Well, just trying to see who's underneath it. And it looks to me the Fijian try.
Good luck with that, John. I think it might be one of their back rows there. But it's just really noticeable that Fiji have come out with a more direct attitude and direct carries, and this is really showing dividends here, because Australia just can't match that power at the moment. They've got to get off the line and get in their faces and try and stop them at source.
It was the number 18, I think. It was their Wakolo who went over. She's gone off. She's got the try, and the chance then for the extras for Fiji, then for Riwi. She puts it over, and suddenly it becomes 7 points to 12 in favour of Australia.
We saw this yesterday in that Tonga went in at the half and their tails were up, and they've come back out. They came back out and capitalised straight away, and we're seeing that now with Fiji. Great try from them.
100%. For Australia, it's just really important. Calm it down. You're still winning. You still are doing good stuff in attack. Just keep to the plan and keep the faith, and keep putting the energy in.
And here they come again, the Fijians. I'd imagine their head coach has had a real word with them at half-time. Goes forward. Australia have just got to weather the storm here. And if anybody can do that, they can. That's Sasiki over there, who's had a rip-roaring first half for them. Now it's Australia's turn, but what a tackle.
Yeah, there's a couple of big moments there from the Fijian 7. She's done really, really well there. A couple of destructive tackles, leaving the line and just killing the Australian attack at source. Such a good unsung player.
Absolutely.
So this is a period of momentum. Australia have just got to suck it in. And remember what they did in the first half, and buy the confidence from that, and just bring the energy.
Yeah, I think being on the receiving end of a card can have like two opposing effects on a player, and we've seen some really positive actions from the players that have been sent to the bin in this tournament actually, as opposed to it having a negative effect. The players have come back on and really tried to right the wrong.
100%, and that the Fijian 7, who I won't, Ralumu, she's definitely righting the wrongs.
Fiji bring it clear again. So much power and strength in this side. Spurred on by the support here. Brilliant work then from Wakolo. And they've won another penalty. Australia really under the cosh at the moment.
And there's no better team in a tournament to turn over the ball than Fiji, and against an unstructured defence, that they're absolutely lethal. And that's what Australia have got to look after the ball as much as they can. If you can hear me above the Zambian team, who
yeah, great support from the Zambians here, getting right behind the Fijians, making lots of noise, adding to the atmosphere in the stadium here. And coming onto the pitch is Lavinia Tanai, and leaving the field is the number 7, yep.
That was brave by the Australian fullback. I think she's hurt herself there, but bravery again, and that's the bravery that that it requires.
Well, it's keeping Australia ahead in the match, but only just by the skin of their teeth. They're leading by 12 points to 7.
But as the first half, it was all Fiji until Australia broke out. And that's the sort of things that when you're tired and you're hurting because you put a hit, and you've got to remember, keep committed, keep the plan. The plan doesn't need to change.
Well, you can see that Ella Hopper is hurting from that challenge, but she'll keep going. Line out works for them. Here's Samela.
She's got a release. Lucky there. So this is where Australia are just a little bit light in support.
Australian keeping to their game, but it's not forwards. Let them down again, the handling.
This is where the Australian coach now has got to think about his bench, and think about freshening up and bringing some energy, and bringing some experience, maybe Sarah Riordan on, just to sort of give her a little bit of a boost to those who are already on. But I would certainly look at that, because this probably the next 5 minutes determines the outcome of the game in terms of how it's going to be played for the rest of it.
Yeah, and determines their future in the competition, where they go. Is it going to be deja vu? Remember, 3 years ago, it was Fiji who put Australia out of the main competition into the plate competition.
I remember it well.
And here they come again, the Fijians. This is a great run. Fantastic run from Siskwana.
But again, great defence. Although they gave up a lot of ground there was enough Australians around there. I've sung the praises of the 12 for Fiji quite a lot there, but she had a 3-on-1 and took it in herself. And if you do that, you've got to score.
Just flicking back to Sarah, we can see her warming up below us there. I think it's a lot of pressure to ride, and given the nature of her experience, she rides it well, because she will know that she's got to come on, and they want her to make a difference, and almost need her to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely, and she did it against France, to be fair to her. It's pressure that I don't know her at all, but watching her, I suspect she really enjoys, and she'll know that her team will expect something from her, but this is a different game.
Well, the atmosphere here in the stadium is absolutely fantastic, and it's a penalty to Australia. The drive from the Fijians was illegal.
Yeah, the loose head there came right underneath the tight head, straight in, which is you can't do. So yeah, again, I'm really impressed with the fight of the Australian front row in the scrums. They're technically very good, and they're giving away quite a bit of mass, but they're technically, and you can have all the technique in the world, but if you don't have the fight to go with it, you're done. But
well, 55 minutes played here. It's on a knife edge, this match. Australia leading 12 points to 7. If you're just joining us, well, we're in for an incredible finish to this match.
Yeah.
Australia still leading, but they need 2 more tries.
I think we've seen from Australia as well that they have only got one option in the line out. It doesn't matter where she is, whether it's 1, 2 or 3, they always hit the same person. We can see why in the calibre of how she handles the ball in the air, but from a Fijian perspective, you could get away with trying to just mark that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, looking forward into any other rounds, if you've just got one into the semi-finals, the teams you'll play against will see that.
Fiji have it there with Skisquana, who is dominating things at the moment. Ball goes wide onto that right-hand side. Real chance for another Fijian try here. Brilliant drive work from Kovalova. Crunching tackle from Australia. Crunching defence again.
You have to say that's great defence. They're on the back foot there. Again, it was turnover ball. You have to say that's a lot of people putting bodies on lines there.
This really is a carbon copy of the first half, isn't it? The first part of the first half, of the first quarter of the game.
I think both teams are playing right to the edge, not just of the pitch, but like the physical edge. You see Fiji, just when you think they're about to go into touch or knock it on, they secure the ball, they keep it in play. And same with Australia, just as you think that they've maybe just broken that last tackle, they put a foot in touch or they turn it over. It's incredible to see.
And it's always out wide. I think, it's hard to pick out an individual in the Australian back three, but that as a unit, they work so hard for each other.
Well, that was a tired dropout, wasn't it? And a chance for Fiji to really hammer this home.
But again, scramble defence by Australia, and they're there. If Fiji can get a bit of
they're in. And they are over. It's another try for Fiji. And it was number 12 who got it. It was Vivi Skisquana who has brought Fiji back into this at 12 all.
Yeah, no one can say that Fiji don't deserve that.
They've been brilliant in this second half, John.
100%. But it's worth saying, Australia, nothing changes really. You've just got to do what you're doing before. The energy levels are low. It's hard to keep defending if you do that. So you're probably looking at the bench to come in. From Fiji's point of view, it's really noticeable that they've really gone more direct in their attack. But it's also really noticeable that they're getting more turnovers, and from turnovers they're just killing the opposition.
Kavaru then with the kick, and it comes off the post.
That could be critical.
So we remain at 12 all.
So again, little things here like Australia. Don't just take your time, get up, suck in the big gulps of air. The game's got a long way to go. Just compose yourself. Fiji want to play the fast game. You know what you need to do. Get underneath this ball and pressure the Fijians.
Well, we had a fantastic atmosphere here yesterday for Ireland against Tonga. It's not letting us down again today either. Great take from fullback from scrum half Terry Ellis there.
Yeah,
but it's Fiji who will get it. And very quickly, they want to run the ball away. They want blood, but the referee has brought it back. It's the thing. It's Australia, a great field of the kick, and she took and beat the first defender. But the Fijians beat the Australians to the tackle, and that's just killing Australia at the moment.
Yeah, we can see the experience as well from Denny Ross in the second row there, geeing up the pack. They know they have had quite a lot of dominance in this game, but also it's quite saturating.
It's a really good place to attack from for Fiji, left-handed scrum.
They take it right to the middle and drive forward. Fiji so much in the ascendancy here at the moment. 2 tries they've scored in this second half to level it at 12 points all. We're into the final quarter of the game now with an hour played. and it's getting hotter. Great tackling from Australia, but the ball is still in play. It's brutal stuff out there, it really is. With Durni.
Unbelievable. We know that Fijiana have got big runners, but there is also quite a bit of space out wide, especially when Australia are having to commit at least 2 players to each tackle.
Oh, and it's into touch, but great work then from the Fijian backs there, spreading that ball wide, and so nearly a chance for
You have to say though, that all the Fijian success has come through punching down the middle. They've attacked out wide so many times, and yet the Australians have closed the door on them. They've given up a lot of yardage, but they've closed the door on them. Again, go back to what works if you're Fiji. Just punch it up, and as Key was saying, when there's 2 people in a tackle minimum, there's going to be an overlap somewhere. But you have to credit this scrambling defence from Australia, because it's just amazing to watch.
I don't think there's many teams could have stood up to this sort of pressure.
No, but again, this is what you do when your tournament is on the line. This is them going through or dying in the tournament. So you come all the way from the other side of the world, and you're a proud nation. You probably haven't shown the best of, in your previous 2 games, the best of what you can do. And this is what it's about now, because if you want to win it, if you want to go through, then you've got to do this sort of stuff.
So Bree Birtwistle has come on to take her place in the front row.
Number 18, Bree Crystal-Waite.
Linda Emilio is the player who's gone off. She certainly took an injury in that first half. She's just walking her way around the pitch now. And I just wonder, as you said a few minutes ago, John, whether Rob Drinkwater might make a few more changes. I think we'll just see how this develops on that far side of the field.
Don't underestimate how much energy it takes out to have the defensive display that the Australians
What a drive.
have.
What a drive from Ravavuu. Australia hanging on for dear life here. It's still 12 all, it's still level, and they're over. Fiji are over for a 3rd try, and it is the number 17 who has got it. It's Enoa Duani has got the try, which puts Fiji in front now by 17 points to 12.
Commentators curse there, John. What were we saying about the edge?
Still went through the middle to score, didn't they? I mean, I still think that they are unstoppable at the moment if they just go down the middle. But it's now about energy. It's all about energy levels.
Yeah, and I guess identification of that, like they're seeing that they're getting go forward there, but they are still trying to exploit that edge. So I wonder if they will change it slightly. They've got a little bit of lead, not try and find the edge as much.
Yeah, I think it's in their DNA to try and go around the edge. I think they will naturally try and do it. And obviously, if you stretch the defence thinly, it makes it easy to go through the midfield. But I just think that when they started the second half, everything was direct, and they were getting so much success. So this will be the real test for the Australians now. Actually just, a lot of energy. Get there and hold on to the ball and put some pressure on Fiji.
19-12 then. The Fijians have come from behind here. They were 12-0 down at half-time, and they have turned it round with an amazing attacking performance in this second half.
Yeah, it's really important for Australia to maintain discipline here and just have a bit of patience in defence. There's only 1 try in it. That's nothing when you've still got another 15 minutes of the game. And here we go, turnover ball.
Yeah, and that's it. A couple of penalties, a couple of kicks to touch, a line out on the 22, and things can change. It doesn't really change for Australia. The game plan when the in the right part of the field does actually get. Oh, they're going for a kick here. Kick at goal. So the game plan doesn't really change. It's still game on. But you've got to stop the momentum building from the Fijians somehow.
And Rob Drinkwater has made that change. He's brought on the player who we expected to come on, Sarah Riordan. And if anyone can score from this far out, it's going to be her. They need the points. They need them badly. Riordan's kick is brilliant, and it is over. 19 points to 15 then.
And that's such a fillet for the Australian team, and especially their forwards. That will give them a good. Right, if we get into their half and give penalties away, we've got someone anywhere who can kick the ball and get us points on the board. What Australia need to focus on now is just getting back into the Fijian half and pressure. Keep ball, pressure the Fijians, all right, and see what happens.
And of course, Fiji know now that any penalty conceded within that sort of area is within range of Sarah Riordan's boot.
100%.
And so that they're going to be mindful of that. But to be fair, they've not really been bothered about defence since we started the second half. It's been all attack.
Yeah, and again, though, they know from the first half that you can pressurise this Australian team for a good half of a half, and yet they can come back and score.
Great work from Ella Hopper there.
It's that footwork before contact that just took a big hit away.
I think in the games, or the minutes that Sarah Riordan has played, she showcased her experience that she's gained, not just with the Rollaroos, but as a back. She's converted from back to forward in a more twilight years, shall we say? Sorry, Says. But obviously brings with her a wealth of experience and a huge, versatile skill set that we're seeing in this tournament.
She's a great player to bring onto the pitch. And there she is again. Great control through to her hooker, Ella Hopper.
It's a penalty.
It's a penalty to Australia. The Fijians illegally snatching it away. And
that's what Australia need to focus on. Just hold on to the ball, get some go forward. Sarah's giving you some go forward in one carry, Ella in the other, and you just, the Fijians will give penalties away, and now you just take that break, build from a line out, and go again.
So Riordan's kick probably not as far as she'd have liked to have got, but it has made some ground for Australia. They can take a quick breather here. Just looking at Ella Hopper, she's clearly got a little in pain. I think she took a right knock on the ribs. And some more changes being made by Australia now. In fact, Hopper is coming off.
And as is Jordan Neal. And I think the pair of them have run themselves empty.
They have put in a shift. That front row has been unbelievable for Australia today. Whatever the result happens to be here, you cannot fault their commitment and their defence. But there's still life left in these young Australian women, and Fiji will know that. They've got their noses in front, but it's only by 4 points. Early action then for Bailey Marshall.
That's a good carry as well.
Who's come on. One of the youngest members of the Australian team.
Yeah, I remember when she came on against France, she showcased an early physical presence then as well. She's doing exactly the same today. We can see what she brings straight from the bench onto the pitch.
I say she's one of the youngest members of the team. She's actually 28 years old, but she's only been involved with rugby for...
that's young.
Yeah. But only been involved with rugby for about the last 5 months. Yeah, that's what I meant.
The carry there just shows what the spirit of the Australian team is. She's coming on when it's the toughest part of the game for the Australians at the moment. Yet she promoted herself. Give me the ball. I'm going to take it on, and that's just gold for the green and gold to have that. I think the Fijians are. They're looking a little bit tired themselves, but they'll just come alive when they get the ball.
This is what they do. It's exactly what Tonga did yesterday. They were alive when they got the ball.
And you look at them now; they're just different. When they're in defence, they're not as mobile. But look at them here. just strong.
Sisquano's had a fantastic second half. In fact, she's played brilliantly for Fiji here. She did take a red, if you remember, against the French, having scored a try. And here come Fiji again. Are they going to go for it? Australia in trouble, but eventually they managed to get the ball away. And it's these big forwards for the Fijians who are driving for the line once more. And they've got the penalty.
The number 12 for Fiji has been absolutely pivotal in all of their go forward.
And it's a yellow card. Australia have suffered a yellow card.
Yeah. You can't give away, but you're exactly right, Kiwi. They should no right to get as much go forward from standing start, but is just so strong. And there's at least six defenders there taken out of the game by her carry.
We've got 10 minutes left of this game. Absolutely pulsating match. Australia now down to 14. And they will find it very tough to defend this. The Fiji have the 3 tries. The 4th try, of course, will be a bonus point for them.
We did see Australia in similar positions in the first half, though, and they withstood the pressure. So I think if they can withstand the pressure for this defensive set, that should be the lift that they need to try and get a bit of momentum swinging in their way.
Let's see what they can do. The French team, of course, are now here. They're cheering Fiji on because they know a victory for Fiji here, or anything less than a 4-try victory for Australia, will give France a place in the semi-final before they've even started. And going over for the try for them is number 11, Mirani Salevu. And that is the 4th try for Fiji. It puts them 24-15 ahead. And that is a crucial score for Fiji.
Yeah, that's probably the nail in the coffin there for the Australians. With 9 minutes to go, they've not only got to win the game, but they've got to score 2 tries. So that's it. You have to credit Fiji, because second half, it's just whatever was said at half time. They've just focused on a simple game plan and all committed to it, and it's paying dividends. Probably the result of the Australians' work and defence in the first half. They're running out of gas now.
And the responsibility then with Lavina Kavaru with the conversion attempt, left footer, which she makes.
Conversion successful.
Taking Fiji to 26 points to 15, 11 points now the difference. The game slipping away from Australia, Kiwi.
Ever so slightly, but if I recall correctly, they had this battle with France, and it went to the 82nd minute, and they were up until the 81st minute. So I think, like I say, just a little swing of momentum now, a big hit, a big defensive set to try and get the ball back. We've seen what they can do, so the game is definitely not done yet.
Yeah, crucial that Australia gets something in the next few minutes. Obviously, there's 8 minutes to go, 7.5 minutes to go, but they'll keep trying, they'll keep working right to the end here. Well, Australia. There's Marshall, brought to ground, and they get the penalty. Down to 14 players, remember. They've got 1 in the bin. Referee having a word with the Fijian captain.
I think Terry Ellis had the right idea there. She wanted to go fast. Both teams are feeling the effects of fatigue, so it could be that fast ambition to play that catches Fijiana off guard for Australia.
Riordan trying to find a way through. And here comes Horrocks.
That's a great line.
And this time...
We're seeing a slight change in the shape of Australia's attack. They're setting a little bit deeper off the ball, whether they're trying to bring on the Fiji defence. It's absolutely working and probably not in the way that they maybe want. I think in the first half we saw them a lot flatter and hitting the gain line when they were taking that ball into contact.
Penalty taken quickly by the scrum half. Looking to find her way through, finds Riordan.
It's just unfortunate.
It's that forward.
And there's the difference between the two sides, is that when a Fijian makes a break and is on the ground, the ball just goes to hand. Their ball handling skills, you're watching the warm-up, the way they're flicking the ball around, and it never went to ground. And in those situations, it just makes a massive difference. But you have to credit, again, the Australians. They're taking it to the Fijians, and they're taking it to it as Ella Hopper comes back on again.
Ella Hopper's not going to give up. She's come back on again to try and tighten that front row again.
Approximately 5 minutes to play. Get behind your teams.
Again, it's been a terrific game of rugby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Australia has got a great saying that you don't die wondering, and they've given everything they've got, and it's still in the balance. That's it.
Oh, this is a great run again. Number 21, still in play. They keep it in play.
Again, the edge defence from Australia, one player down, which is where the probably space would be. It did just phenomenal. That's Terry Ellis, one of the smallest players on the pitch, running across and chasing down a strike runner there. There's the heart there. The coach, whatever the result that comes out, the coach has to be happy, and just at their effort levels and their application to and commitment to the game plan.
Maddie Matthews has come on for Australia as well. Another change from Rob.
It's not only because she's got a pink scrum hat, but Kira Burke's made an impression since she's come on, and he just added some well-needed energy to the Australian team.
Penalty to Australia.
Yeah, just unfortunate.
Just can't take it as quickly as they want to.
But you've got to take it from the correct mark, and you definitely can't take it behind the referee. But this is another strike move opportunity from Australia. You get a line out, you've got Ella back on throwing. I think this might go out to the back line.
Win it well.
See, that's the aforementioned Burke there. She carried well. But
Fiji get the penalty.
The Fijian
and they take
defense.
it quickly.
Lovely quick penalty.
Great work from Kavaru, who's been... And a penalty goes back the other way. So, my goodness, the officials have had their work cut out in this game, haven't they?
That's Riordan's tackle. Just cut the Fijian down and stop the defence coming in to take the ball and won the penalty.
There's Riordan again. Desperately trying to get themselves back into this. They get another penalty. Taken quickly.
She just needs support.
Here's Ellis.
Here.
Ellis running with it.
There's no question in Australia's desire at this rate, at this stage in the game. They're leaving everything out there.
Just giving it their all. Trying to find their way through this brick wall of Fijian defence.
I felt that one from here. That was a hugely dominant tackle on Sarah there. Not many people can do that.
And Sarah Riordan hasn't got up just yet. Here's one of the bomb squad come on.
Dare I say that Australia are attacking into Fiji's hands at the minute. They're playing quite isolated rugby, and and Fiji are an intelligent side. They'll know when to challenge that breakdown.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time, I think, because unless Australia find a little bit more support in their attack.
A yellow card for kicking the ball away.
Now down to 14 for the rest of the game. Can they hang on?
Yeah, it's the most instinctive thing to do when you're chasing the game is to play a one-out rugby. But actually, as you say, if you look at the Fijian defence, they're not having to be stressed laterally. You're just running at them, and they will take the kick. So they're going for a kick because they want to be within 7. I don't think that does it, but
Dorney was sent off. Sent to the sin bin, I should say. But Sarah Riordan is going to go for this.
and this might be the last kick of the game.
It could be a losing bonus point, couldn't it?
Yeah.
For Australia. She takes it, but she doesn't get hold of it. And Fiji will come again. They have the possession, so the play can continue.
And this is where the Australians are stretched here.
Yeah, the width on Fiji's attacking line, if that ball can come more than one out, they have so much space to play with.
Yeah, but again, it's that. You have to credit Australia's defence there. You have to credit them.
Well,
that is just, you know, so hard to do in the 80th minute. That's so hard to do.
it is the 80th minute. We're into the dying moments of this game now.
So it's interesting, the back line have swapped wings. So Australia have got a move on here that if the ball comes out the back, they've all come over to the right-hand side. The Fijians are one short in the back line, or they're not playing with that with deep fullback, so there's potential drawing them on and kick over the top for their wingers. Yeah.
Roden with the kick, straight into the hands of Riawi. And the ball kicked out, and that is the end of the game. It's a victory for Fiji here by...
No, it's not the end of the game, John.
Oh, is it not?
He's not. No, it's not.
Goes by the referee's watch, of course.
No, it is not the end of the game.
No.
Well, everyone thought it was.
Yeah.
Sarah Reardon has gone down.
I think she might be quite badly injured here.
Yeah.
She kicked off one leg and was taken down. But again, you know, it's you know, last play of the game, Fiji, Australia in the 22, and a good chance, as you say, if they can bang in a try here, that brings the losing bonus point into play.
Yeah, Sarah Reardon looks to be in quite a lot of pain there. I think they've been nursing injuries with her throughout the course of the competition.
As of all teams by now, I mean, you know, this is you know, third game in 9 days or so, and it's, you know, it's tough on hard pitches. You know, little things like, you know, you're in strange beds, so your recovery's not the best, and you're playing, recovering, and then training in that time to try and prep for the next game. This is where, you know, the team that manages to look after their players and recover well and select accordingly will have an advantage over the team that plays the same team every round.
20-2 in the morning in Suva, and I'm sure that you're all very, very happy with what's going on out there over in Fiji with the performance of the Fijian team here.
The night shift boys and girls will be on there.
An all-night party probably going on, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and you know, you have to credit them. That's 26 points in the second half. That's what champions do. And you know, they took the best shot from Australia, and they've ridden it out, and then, you know, come back onto them. This is a sad sight.
It is a sad sight. Warm applause for Sarah Reardon, who's come on. She made a huge difference to Australia because she did get that penalty, which put them back in the game. And she's played a huge part in the Australian performance here in this game and the 2 other matches that she was playing in the pool. But it looks unlikely that she will be able to continue in this tournament as Australia drop down into the secondary competition. Very gingerly leaving the field. And warm applause for her. We wish her well.
So probably the last play of the game is this line out. What can Australia do from here?
Well, they will give it their best. They'll continue trying. But Fiji heaving and pushing back. Australia, though, have it. Goes in with a chance now. And still a run for them. Ball going wide. They could be in for a try here. It's their full-back, I think, is on the far side of the field.
They're committed to the narrow here. There's no width here from Australia. So they're committed to the narrow punch up here.
Fiji desperately trying to keep them out. That's the captain going in there. That was Forsyth. Another drive for the line from Fiji. Still have the chance. To Australia. There's Forsyth again. Knocked back. Oh my goodness me, this is brutal.
They've got a penalty, have they? Yeah,
they do a penalty. Taken quickly. And it's over.
Yeah,
and
she's deserved that.
It's the scrum half who's got the try. It was Terry Ellis.
Absolutely deserved that. And again, you know, I hope she won't mind me saying, probably the smallest person on the pitch took on the big Fijians and, you know, found a way under that. That's in the 80th minute. That's guts.
That's incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible guts really from 100%. The Australians. And they will have the conversion to bring it back to 26-22, and that guarantees them a losing bonus point. Not what they would have wanted, but my goodness me, they put a shift in, haven't they? Both these teams today.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see a hugely physical encounter, and we have seen exactly that. And I imagine we've got more to come of that in the next match at 4 o'clock. But the heart that both of these teams have played with. I would argue you see it more from a team that's on the defending side slightly more, in which in this case it's been Australia. You have to just find that little bit more about you to turn up and do the basics well. And despite the scoreline, they did do that. And it's a big and it's a tall ask for any team to be on the back foot like that. But great game, huge heart, and obviously Fiji with the result.
Yeah, if you look at the Fijians there at the end of it, they know they've been in a battle. And that's ultimately what rugby's about, is you're winning the respect of your opposition, the respect of the scoreline. You know, Australia brought it today. And, you know, in a tournament and think that if they'd have played like they had today against France, it could have been a different situation. But if batsman wins, that doesn't really matter. What they did today showed that, you know, the Fijian side are certainly gettable. But you have to be able to do it for 80 minutes. You can't have a period where you relax, because this Fijian side is arguably the best side in the competition from turnover ball or when momentum comes, and physically are probably the most dominant in one-on-one collisions, which is a scary prospect. I do believe they are gettable, but only if you're prepared to put your body on the line for 80 minutes and be accurate. Australia put the body on the line for 80 minutes. They just lacked a bit of accuracy in the second half.
And they fell short just by 6 points, 26 points to 20, the final score. And of course, what that means, both of you, is that obviously Fiji will win the group now. They win Pool B, and they will play the Irish Defence Forces in the semi-final on Saturday. That'll be the second semi-final. The first semi-final will be between UCAF and France, because the French now guaranteed, provided of course they beat the Looseheads, and we must stop maybe presuming that. Depends on the team that the Looseheads bring out today, and of course it depends on how the French behave as well, how their attitude is, but I can't imagine anything other at the moment on current form than a French victory this afternoon.
Yeah, just seeing a few of the loose heads teams arrive, or players arrive, should I say. There's a few big hitters that I think we're going to see today. Obviously through availability and word of mouth about the competition and things like that, people are interested, and I think we will once again see a very different loose head side to what we've seen previously. And yeah, it's definitely not it's France's to lose, but
it's
I think
not a done deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. It's not a done deal.
But the French are the champions. They are the team that are hurting from having to not nail this up. They're losing against Fiji. They're hurting from that. I expect them to come out fit, fast and fire and take on this loose heads team. Which won't be easy, but I expect them to show what. And it's in their hands. They know what they've got to do. They've got to win, and I expect them to do that. Mainly because the loose heads are just getting to know each other in the car park, and there's a massive advantage. I do think the loose heads played really well in the second half against Australia, and deserve a bit more respect. But you've got to credit this team here, Fiji, as they come off the
as they leave the field there. To warm applause from everybody. The Australians in their huddle on the far side of the field. I think the Fijians are going to sing for us, and I think we should really stay for this, because this will be a wonderful. No, maybe they're not going to sing. They're just applauding the support that they've had here. Huge support, of course, has come from the Zambian team as well, who've been here in big numbers here to support their team. But it will be Fiji will go on as the winners of Group B. They will play the Irish Defence Force in their semi-final. Australia now leaving the field. Let's give them a warm round of applause to the Australian team as well, as they leave the field, battered and bruised, but not beaten. They leave the field to warm applause. Obviously disappointed that they've not been able to go any further. They leave the pitch. They'll be into the plate competition, and they must be favourites to do well in that. That's going to be an interesting competition, obviously the second string competition. But that's it for now. We'll be back with you in just an hour and a quarter for coverage of what's going to be another exciting game this afternoon between the French and the Vodafone Looseheads. If you've enjoyed this game, then please join us again for more rugby action as Pool B comes to an end later on this afternoon. But from myself, John Knighton, also John Wilding, thanks for joining us again, John, today, and also for Kiwi. They'll be with Kath Brazier for our second helping of action later on this afternoon. So from all of us, it's goodbye for now from here in Aldershot.
She's lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. Oh, that is a fantastic try.
Off go the Australians, and here goes another try from Fiji. The tries keep raining down.
Play hard, play fast, show them what we've got.
And going through on that left-hand side, this is a fantastic one. Wonderful stuff from you, Kath. The French are over.
What a game we're seeing.
You hope to bring the Fijian play on rugby?
She's going all the way. And the try goes over.
I thought so we could win it. That'd be unbelievable.
Well, it's relentless right now, and that's brilliant stuff from the home side.